What is going on, everybody? My name is Will, and thanks for checking out this episode of The Monthly. You know how there are some topics that everybody cares about, but they don't come up in the news until some major event happens. Until you see some horrible headline, like an account of police brutality, or a good old-fashioned Nazi march, or when Netflix threatens to remove everyone's favorite show. Honestly, they can take The Office. At this point, if you haven't committed the entire series to perfect photographic memory to replay in your mind at any moment of your choosing,
you always left me satisfied and smiling.
That's what she said.
that sounds like a you problem. Well, fuck that. I'm sick of waiting for headlines. I'm not waiting for another celebrity lion to get killed to talk about trophy hunting. I hate it, you hate it, there are some benefits to it, and it's okay to hate that too. Let's get started. Now, you're probably expecting me to spend this entire episode explaining why trophy hunters are assholes and why the entire practice needs to be shut down. God, I wish it was that fucking easy. Please don't get me wrong. Just like whatever this is, big game trophy hunters still just seem like massive assholes to me. But more on that later. Let's first take a look at the other side. Because when you hear pro-hunting arguments, oftentimes the gist is that a population has become overcrowded, so hunting is encouraged. And sometimes in big game hunting, one hostile member of the pack can become a threat to the other members, and so a bounty is essentially placed on that one individual animal. Okay, in these minor ways, big game hunting is a small benefit to the animals in an ecosystem. But when trophy hunting is described as beneficial to the animals, it's actually for a much bigger reason.
Americans looking at this and saying, you know what, I'm against hunting. Why should you be permitted in a world where lions are diminishing to continue to hunt lions?
If we didn't hunt lion, we wouldn't have lion. It is funded by hunting. You take away the hunting, there is no alternative way of funding an operation this size. It would have to revert back to cattle.
Trophy hunters pay a lot of money for the right to hunt African animals. A lot of money. In some countries, this money is then put towards the conservation of those animals, funding efforts to maintain land for habitat and prevent poachers from slaughtering mass numbers of endangered species. So, in order to save a large number of animals, countries allow rich foreigners to come in and legally kill a few of those animals. It is an insane solution that has actually proven somewhat successful. Imagine you want to pay for your 4 kids to go to college, and so you start to seek donations from the rich. But in order for most of your kids to get an education, you decide you need to forfeit the education of your youngest kid. That is trophy hunting, except it's actually worse because the donors are the ones killing the animals. So it's more like the rich are paying the tuition of your 3 kids, but in exchange for the privilege of sitting down with your youngest kid and intentionally teaching him incorrect facts. I feel like you're not seeing how perfect this metaphor is, and that's okay. So yeah, most of your kids get to go to school, but your youngest goes through life confused because the Trump boys, just for fun, convinced him that babies are made when a lady drums in the air tonight on a dude's butt cheeks. Fun fact, that's actually what Eric thinks sex is. Where the fuck were we? So, how much do hunting prices really fund conservation? Well, that's where things get a little hazy. One popular study estimates that 18,000 trophy hunters contribute $436 million to Southern and Eastern Africa's GDP each year. The group who did that study? The Pro-Hunting Safari Club International Foundation. The Human Society International estimates the hunting contribution to the region's GDP is more like 132 million. But regardless of how much revenue hunting contributes, it does contribute. And I have to admit, it's hard to get on board with the idea that hunting can be good. We all want so badly to be on the anti-hunting side, the side where beautiful animals don't get JFK'd. What? I'm saying it's fucked up. That's why, to make anti-hunting seem a little less compelling, allow me to show you someone who is anti-hunting, but who is also universally regarded as awful. A guy who believes in all lives matter, regularly uses the term feminazi, and is constantly telling women to put more clothes on. Ladies, gentlemen, and other beautiful humans, I give you Mr. Piers Morgan. Here he is debating with a father-daughter hunting duo.
On your Facebook page, I noticed lots of pictures of you cuddling your pet cat, right? You've got a lovely little pet cat. How would you feel if I came to your house one day and I hunted down your pet cat and I killed it, and I then posted pictures of me celebrating the slaughter of your pet cat?
I'm not allowed to have pets because I hunt?
No, I'm
That's
just saying,
kind
how
of-
would you feel if I came and I killed your pet cat and I posted pictures of me celebrating the killing? Would you like it?
Okay. Regardless of your position, we can all agree that that's not even close to the same thing, right? Oh, you're anti-abortion. Well, how would you feel if I impregnated your cat? Dude, what? So the next time you see a viral image of a gorgeous animal killed by a mom who's cool with you drinking in the house, the one glimmer of hope you can draw is that somewhere Piers Morgan is upset. And don't think too much about why. Just try and focus on his unhappiness. Circling back, one thing we can't do is take out our frustration on the African countries who have set these systems in place. It can be tough to grasp, but they're simply using the means they have to exploit the rich and save as many animals as they can in the long run. It's a little easier to swallow if you think about all the things that trophy hunting revenue could be spent on. Plus, if you're an American like me, it's really not our place to weigh in on how an entirely different culture operates from halfway across the world. That said, while it seems like this is a battle between anti-hunting and pro-hunting, there's actually a third option. Hear me out. Anti-everything. I know, I sound like a 15-year-old listening to My Chemical Romance in the shower with the lights out for some reason. I am anti-everything! While trophy hunters are technically paying money that goes to animal conservation, I still think it's totally okay to simultaneously fucking hate them. You can continue to call out hunters while understanding how the system works. Some hunters will claim to be animal activists because they're funding animal conservation. Don't let them do that. At the end of the day, if they really cared about the animals, wouldn't they just donate the money? They obviously have it. It's like spending money by donating to find the cure to cancer, but insisting that you get to pick one kid to give cancer to. Understand that there's a lot of conflicting information in this argument as well. While pro-hunters will tout that the white rhino population has risen from just 100 to over 18 grand in the past century, few will jump to point out that the lion population in some regions has dropped by 2/3 in the past 15 years. Again, the biggest threat to these animals by far is poaching and loss of habitat to farmland. But the Trump boys playing Elmer Fudd doesn't always help either. Makes sense they like cheetahs. Cheetahs run in their family after all. A greater overall solution is difficult to navigate. I certainly don't have the means to come up with one. But remember, even if it's legal, it's still okay to get upset by headlines like this. And it's equally okay to silently relish in a headline like this. After all, they knew the risks. That is it for this episode of The Monthly. Thank you so much for watching, and donate to one of these fine organizations if you don't like animals getting shot. To prove you made it to the end, comment below with your favorite African animal. Mine's flamingos, look at this idiot. And as always, if you have an idea for a future story that you'd like to see covered, I'd love to hear about that in the comments as well. In the meantime, like, subscribe, share, rock, paper, scissors, and until next time, my name is Will. Have a great month.